What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be looking at the new Gamerverse Juggernaut action figure. Got some digital artwork right there, another digital render of him right there, and you got some cool artwork in the front. You got the Gamerverse logo in the front as well as the top. At the bottom you got your warnings and all your rights and stuff, and then here's a little tribute to the video game right there, him defeating Silver Samurai. So that's really cool, man. But yeah, definitely very excited in opening this figure. So let's take a quick break and get him out of the packaging. Here we have him out of the packaging. I gotta say, my first thoughts are, man, this guy is enormous. It's a bulky piece of plastic. You got this freaking huge muscular of a tank, gigantic being sitting in my office on my desk. This is definitely a big step from it might have been 2014, somewhere around there. We've gotten a good assortment of Juggernaut figures. We've gotten the Marvel Select Juggernaut, which in my opinion looks the best in regards of paint apps and sculpting and all that stuff. So I don't want to take away from this brand new Gamerverse figure. I mean, this already feels crazy. It just feels you could do a lot of stuff with it. I really want to say that this is going to be my definitive Gamerverse Juggernaut figure, but that's just my opinion. I mean, don't take it with a grain of salt. I don't want to, impede on the definitive Juggernaut figure of all the collectors out there, but I definitely recommend this guy. You got this sculpting all around, right? Look at his arms are super buff. You got these little bands around his forearms and his wrists, as well as his fists. You got muscles all over. You got these creases, sculpting. You get this texture right here on his lower abdomen that it changes from his suit, so you're not gonna get this flat brownish all throughout the body. You're gonna get more of a what's this, mahogany color, right? More of a reddish color, and his boots match that same color here, and then you got that brown all over from the head to the chest to the lower torso, legs, thighs, right, and the bands on his arms, and then the base of his boot as well. So that's really cool. You got some weathering here in the creases on his muscles. It gives it that pop. Several times we do get a lot of bland plastic figures. It just looks, it just doesn't have that pop, and I think that's why most people want to go with imports. But these newer Hasbro figures, right, these domestic series and lines, they're looking better and better every single time. You're getting that from Jada Toys, from all different toy brands. It's not just Hasbro, which I'm glad, because these toys are meant for kids, but the bigger market is the adults that we've been collecting this stuff since as kids, teenagers, or started in our early adult lives. He does come with 3 accessories. He comes with this blast effect. This just goes onto his fist. I think that's what that's designed for. Yeah, so it just clips on there, so that's really cool. It does come with alternate hands. He comes with this holding hand, got that same natural paint right there on the skin, so it's really nice, really digging it. And then the other hand's gonna be like a reaching hand, or like a karate chopping hand, so it's really cool. The details on that is really nice. I'm really loving it. You might want to give it a wipe down real quick, because you can see the oil residue on there. But really loving this effect. I really like it. I'm really enjoying these effects on these Gamerverse figures. Just before we get started, I want to show you guys how tall he is. So he's approximately around 9.25. So definitely a lot bigger than your average Marvel Legends figure. I think he's pretty up there with like a NECA or a McFarlane action figure, one of those mega figs. Not a mega fig, but a deluxe figure. The mega figs are a lot bigger. They're like almost Hot Toys scale. Onto the articulation. The head does spin. You're gonna get 360 motion there, but mine just popped out because of the different. So this is the inside. Let me show you the inside of the head right there. So that's the teeth right there, the facial expression, the eyeballs, the teeth, the gums, and all that. So it sits in there, really nicely hidden. Due to the muscle, the density of his muscles, this will pop out. You do have an ab crunch, right? You got a ball joint that the upper torso sits on. So this guy leans forward, he can lean backward, and his arms have butterfly joints. He can swivel to the forward and to the back. ball joint arms, spin 360. The arm can swing that way, and then it can go back down, shifts back down. 360 motion at the bicep cut. This is a separate piece, so this actually swivels, so you can make it look like, you know, you get in a better, kind of like the Hulk figure and then the Wolverine figure. You do get a single jointed elbow due to the mass of the figure. I don't think it wouldn't make sense to have double joints. You do get a peg joint swivel at the wrists, so you can rock upward, downward, spin 360, 180. Ball joint legs, you kick up, not too high. You kick backward because of the cheek right there. You can't really kick backward. You can swing it to the side there, get them pretty high. I mean, this is a larger figure, so that's not too bad right there for being a figure of this size. You do get a thigh cut. You can spin that 360 sort of, but because of the sculpting here, that's gonna hinder this, so I wouldn't even touch that. I mean, you're gonna mess with the integrity of the appearance of the figure. You do get a single jointed knee, so that was pretty stiff. So you don't get much motion there, and you're not gonna really be able to get him in a dynamic posing. I mean, his legs are pretty hindered, but so far he does look pretty awesome. So you can get him in a cool pose. You just have to mess with him a little bit. So definitely liking that. That's really cool. No boot cut, but you could spin that ball joint at the knee. You do have an ankle rocker, and you got a foot joint right there, toe joint. That's really cool. You can spin that 360. You can rock the joint. I'm definitely loving the figure. I would expect a little bit more articulation, but it's really hard to make these guys, you know, perfect. You can't take away too much from their appearance. You got to kind of make it work. I'm totally enjoying the way he looks. Very appreciative of that, but I don't think that you can add too much articulation either. I definitely think it beats the newer legends, the newer legend Juggernauts. I don't know about the Marvel Select. I think the Marvel Select is still the #1 in regards of appearance and paint applications and whatnot, or display purposes, right? But this one is definitely going to be the definitive one for me. I had some guys here just to compare him next to, because that's my favorite part, is just, you know, putting these guys side to side to see, because I don't collect just one line. I collect different lines and different figures. Like, it doesn't have to be something specific. So here's the MODOK from Marvel Legends. I don't remember the year this came out. Here I have him next to a NECA Frankenstein from the original Frankenstein 1930s Frankenstein film. Here I have him next to a Jurassic Park 3 T-Rex. I think this is the Bull Rex, I believe, the Youth Rex, right? So this is a pretty good sized figurine. And then I'll throw like a random figure, and this is a Mezco Sovereign Knight Batman. So that just to show you what you're working with there. Juggernaut's a lot bigger than what he looks. And here I've got him next to a Retro Wave Rhino. He makes Rhino look like a baby, like a little bull in comparison to him. So here I have him next to a Marvel Select Mighty Thor, the Disney Store exclusive. So that's, you can tell from right there that he's a lot bigger than your average Marvel Legend. Your average Marvel Legend would be closer to this Deadpool figure. That's a huge difference right there. Now just add this vehicle just so you guys can see how much space he's gonna take. He's enormous. He's a big chunk of plastic, but nonetheless, he's still a fun piece to have to display. Put him out there on your towers or your shelves, your bookshelves and whatnot. Very fun figure. I definitely recommend him. Alright, that's it for the video. I hope you get this guy. I hope you've enjoyed the video. Stay tuned. Keep up with us. Hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe. Happy hunting. Peace.